You can give us a look at how this is really affecting businesses at the micro level. We talk about this at the macro level all the time, but what kinds of customers are coming to you really wanting to get all the use they can out of your software running these scenarios? Is it mostly folks who have manufacturing in China? Is it retailers? Who?
So John, we're a planning software company, and so we help our customers do different types of what-if analysis. Tariffs is a great example. Many of our customers are working on dealing with uncertainty related to tariffs. And so Anaplan allows them the ability to do different scenarios based on where they're sourcing some of their products around the world. We tend to sell to global customers, and so they're sourcing from multiple different companies or countries. And they use Anaplan to be able to look at scenarios, things happen in China and they're sourcing various vendors from China. What are some of the alternatives that they would look at? So I would say a majority of our customers, especially global ones, are dealing with that today.
Very often, it seems that the thing about uncertainty is you never know when it's going to hit, except this time you know. Right?
Yes.
Everybody's dealing with a similar type of uncertainty, at least a lot of people are, specifically around trade. Is that unusual? Is it causing you to deal with your customers in an unusual way?
So I would put it into the category of uncertainty is really requiring companies, businessmen and women, to really make decisions in real time. Right? They have to react to what's happening around them. Tariffs is a great example. Another great example is Brexit, currency. And when you have the ability to do real-time scenario planning, you then start to look at different possibilities, and you can make different decisions to gear your business to the best outcome. And that's where Anaplan really comes into play, which is very effective.
What are you telling them to do as far as managing their supply chains around tariff pressures?
So we don't necessarily guide them specifically on how they manage their business, but we give them the capability to look at different scenarios. As I said before, sourcing product from multiple different vendors, if tariffs is going to be an impact, allows them to react more quickly as far as switching manufacturing from one versus another so they can manage their costs more effectively.
Has all of this uncertainty, tariffs, trades, all the question marks that are out there on a macro level, has it been good for business for Anaplan?
It's been very good. I mean, I wouldn't say just that. I think the world of planning is changing. I mean, I've been a planner for many years at various companies I've worked with prior to Anaplan, and the days of planning over weeks and over months is in the background. Companies now have to react, as I said, in real time. And I think those are great examples of why Anaplan becomes such an effective platform for these companies, and I think why we're doing so well.
I mean, Twitter is real time. The president, as we all know, is on Twitter, and what he tweets not only affects the markets, but affects these companies and sort of how they have to factor in what the different scenarios might be. Does that change the way a company like yours needs to plan its pipeline for product? Because it seems like, yes, you were built for real-time planning, but real-time planning even means something different now, it feels like to me, than it did a year ago.
It did, and I think it's going to continue to evolve. You know, for us, we're a software company, so we don't have to deal with manufacturing and products. But again, it puts us back into understanding and appreciating what our customers are going through and really provide them with that capability. I was just talking to customers this week in Atlanta and New York, and every one of them, CFOs, CIOs, they're telling me about the need to really leverage information and making decisions, and that's where Anaplan comes into play.
The president just tweeted about tariffs, by the way. I want to ask about this space in general, and I want to go even broader than planning because it fits into analytics. Domo is getting crushed this morning post-earnings. It's down about 30%. It recently had its IPO. You guys had your IPO, what was it, 11 months ago?
Just about a year ago, yes.
11 months ago. You're up about 3x from your IPO price. What's making the difference in this data analytics and I guess planning space, you think, in terms of what is really making the business go?
So first, if I look at planning is a large market. And if I look back, it's been several decades before there's been any change from a technology perspective around planning. Spreadsheets are 40 years old this past June. Other technology, more of the legacy technology, has been around for 10, 20 years. So that has forced companies to react slower in how they plan. Having a platform like ours allows them to start to change and pivot to address all these needs. And that's been very effective. And I think that's playing into why we're being successful.
Frank, just a lot of people know you as the former CFO of Cisco, and you were an executive at Red Hat. Cisco's down 11.5% over the last 3 months. I mean, do you see right now, and you've got a handle on this in your new business as well, do you see a slip-off in terms of enterprise spending confidence among CEOs and businesses? Obviously, you're a beneficiary of the uncertainty, but I think there's some questions about what that enterprise spending picture looks like.
So we're a global company, 60% of our business in the U.S., 40% out. I do a tremendous amount of outreach to customers. That's pretty much a big part of my job. I talk to a lot of CEOs, CFOs, CIOs. What I'm hearing, and I'm just going back the last couple of months, is positive. I mean, companies are talking about investment. They're talking about how they're changing their business, looking out over the next year, 2 years. So most of what I've heard and seen has been very positive reaction.